Welcome to my channel. I'm Rose, bringing you the latest shocking updates on Sister Wives. Unexpected twists, emotional moments, and unbelievable drama. Stay tuned till the end. It's the end of an era and the beginning of a reckoning. Kody Brown has officially been kicked off TLC after a vulgar, jaw-dropping outburst that left not only fans but even producers speechless. And if you think that's the end of the Brown family drama, think again. Because Meri Brown has had enough. For the first time in years, she's finally speaking out not just about Kody but about Robyn and what she's been hiding all along. Buckle up. Because what you're about to hear will shake your entire view of Sister Wives. Let's dive. It's finally happened. Kody Brown has been kicked off TLC after a shocking outburst where he hurled a disgusting insult that stunned fans and producers alike. But that's not all. Meri is breaking her silence and exposing Robyn's darkest secrets. Buckle up, because the truth behind the Sister Wives drama is more explosive than ever. In a recent episode of TLC's Sister Wives, Kody Brown sparked controversy by expressing frustration over criticism directed at his relationship with wife Robyn Brown. He stated that he and Robyn have been bitch-slapped for finding a higher love, a comment that has drawn backlash from fans and viewers alike. Adding to the tension, Meri Brown, Kody's first wife, voiced her disapproval of Kody's comparisons between Robyn and his other wives. In an exclusive interview, Meri stated, "I'm sorry, I am Meri. I'm not going to be Robyn," emphasizing her individuality and rejecting the notion that she should emulate Robyn. Robyn Brown's future, alone with Kody? So where does that leave Robyn? Alone. With Kody. In a $1 million mansion. In Flagstaff. With cameras possibly shut off. And public sympathy? Absolutely gone. Without TLC's protection and narrative control, fans are worried we might finally see Robyn's world start to crumble. The very foundation her relationship with Kody was built on, fame, fan curiosity, attention from the network, it's all vanishing. Reports are already surfacing suggesting Robyn is quietly reconsidering her future with Kody. Insiders claim she's been distraught over the backlash, and even more disturbed by TLC's decision to reduce their screen time. One source close to production revealed, Robyn never wanted to be in a monogamous marriage. She signed up for a plural family because she wanted sisterhood. Now it's just her and Kody. And the truth is, that's not what she imagined. A house full of silence, the sad irony of Kody and Robyn's higher love. Kody once said he and Robyn had found a higher love, but now that so-called love is echoing through the halls of a house that used to be full of life, full of family. The silence is deafening. No Christine, laughing in the kitchen. No Yanel, managing the chaos with her calm strength. No Meri, quietly trying to hold the emotional weight of the family together. Just Robyn and Kody. And regrets. What's worse? Fans now believe Robyn may have come to the harsh realization that the other wives weren't the problem, Kody was. But by the time she figured it out, it was too late. The kids react, "Dad is not who we thought he was." The ripple effect of Kody's meltdown and the fallout from his toxic favoritism hasn't just affected the wives, it's hit the children too. Gwendolyn, Michael T, Garrison, rest his soul, Gabriel, Leon, Savannah. Each of them has grown up under the weight of public judgment, family imbalance, and emotional confusion. In a recent online Q&A, one of the Brown children spoke candidly. "Growing up, it always felt like you had to fight for Dad's attention. Some of us stopped trying." Another revealed, "I used to think it was my fault when he didn't show up to things. Now I realize it was never about us. It was about who made him feel adored." Harsh. Heartbreaking. Honest. Christine's quiet victory, building joy outside the chaos. While Kody's empire crumbles, Christine Brown is glowing. She's remarried. She's smiling. She's thriving in a life free of manipulation and emotional neglect. With David Woolley by her side, she's built a new chapter defined by joy, laughter, and peace, everything she tried to find with Kody but never could. Fans are calling her journey the greatest redemption arc in reality TV. And they're not wrong. Christine represents every viewer who's ever felt stuck in a toxic situation and finally found the strength to walk away. Yanel's calm strength, the quiet storm Kody couldn't control. And then there's Yanel. The backbone. The strategist. The calm center of the storm. Yanel didn't leave in rage. She didn't scream or throw insults. She simply stepped away. But make no mistake, that choice carried more power than anything Kody ever did. In a recent podcast appearance, Yanel reflected on her decision. I realized I didn't recognize myself anymore. I was always compromising, always shrinking. And one day I just thought, why? Those words hit harder than any outburst. They are the voice of every woman who's finally done settling. Meri's liberation, the woman who walked away last and stood tallest. Meri was the last wife to officially leave. But in many ways, her exit was the most profound. For years, fans watched her try to forgive, try to connect, try to pretend. But after Kody's repeated dismissal of their marriage, calling it dead, void of intimacy, and labeling Meri as more of a friend than a partner, something inside her shifted. And finally, she said the words we'd all been waiting for. I'm done. Now she's building her own business, traveling, smiling without force, and perhaps most importantly, finally speaking her truth. The network pivot, Sister Wives reimagined. With Kody officially being phased out, TLC is at a crossroads, but one they're ready to embrace. According to production insiders, a new vision for Sister Wives is already in the works. It's being framed not as a show about polygamy, but as a story about survival, reinvention, and the strength of women reclaiming their lives. Rumors suggest working titles like Life After Kody, Sister Strong, or Wives Reborn. And fans? They are ready. One viral comment read, "We didn't tune in for Kody's ego. We stayed for the strength of the women who finally chose themselves." Robyn's isolation, poetic justice? Now that the cameras are gone and the public is turning away, Robyn's world looks a lot different. No sister wives to lean on. No group family holidays. No birthday montages of unity and togetherness. Just her and the man she fought to keep. The man who now only has her. Some are calling it poetic justice, to others are calling it sad. Either way, the illusion has shattered. At TLC's statement, silence speaks louder than words. As of now, TLC hasn't released an official statement about Kody's departure. But their silence? It's deafening. Episodes featuring his controversial comments have quietly disappeared from streaming. Promotional materials are shifting focus toward the wives. And interviews with cast members now feature Christine, Yanel, and Meri far more prominently than Robyn or Kody. One media expert said, TLC knows the future of the show isn't in defending Kody. It's in amplifying the voices of the women he tried to silence. Final thoughts, the end of one story, the beginning of another. Kody Brown thought he was the center of the Sister Wives story. But in the end, he was just a chapter. Kody Brown's recent Instagram activity has become a quiet storm that fans just can't ignore anymore. Something feels off. People are noticing the signs, and it's not just a matter of fans overanalyzing a celebrity's feed for drama. It's the silence, the inconsistencies, and that strange feeling that is keeping something buried beneath the surface. From his outdated profile bio to the tone of his few recent posts, everything seems to be pointing toward a larger mystery, a possible truth that Kody doesn't want to reveal. It all starts with his Instagram bio. Despite the fact that he is no longer in spiritual or legal marriages with Meri, Christine, or Yanel, his profile still reads father of 18, husband to 4. This one sentence is enough to make eyebrows raise, because everyone who's been following the Sister Wives saga knows that this statement simply isn't true anymore. So why keep it there? Is it stubbornness? Is he refusing to accept reality? Or is it something deeper? Is he trying to maintain a version of his life that no longer exists to keep up a certain image? While it's common for people to forget updating their bias, this doesn't quite fit that category. Kody Brown is a public figure with an audience of millions. When you're part of a long-running reality show, your public image becomes part of the brand. And with so many major life changes unfolding both on and off the screen, it's hard to believe that he just forgot to make an update. Instead, this small detail feels deliberate, like a tiny piece of a bigger puzzle we haven't been shown yet. What's even more unsettling is his lack of recent posts. Kody's Instagram has been nearly dormant. No frequent updates, no engagement with fans, no behind-the-scenes content. The most recent activity worth noting was a heartfelt message acknowledging the tragic passing of his son Garrison, but even that post was met with heavy emotion, not conversation. Comments were disabled. There was no room for fans to express condolences or share memories. Just a one-sided window into a devastating moment. Again, it begs the question, why silence the response? Was it too painful? Or was he trying to avoid the inevitable flood of criticism that's been trailing him for years? Some fans believe Kody may be going through a deeper emotional crisis. His behavior on Sister Wives has changed over the years, shifting from confident leader of a plural family to an increasingly isolated figure, often bitter, angry, and defensive. On social media, this shift is just as noticeable. The man who once seemed eager to talk about family values and the challenges of plural marriage now seems more withdrawn, almost like he's hiding in plain sight. This idea gains more traction when you consider how he's been handling appearances outside of Instagram. For example, on Cameo, where fans can purchase personalized video messages, Kody has displayed some troubling traits. In one now infamous Valentine's Day message, he painted himself as a victim of his family's implosion. The tone wasn't just sad or disappointed, it was defensive, almost combative. He spoke about betrayal, about being misunderstood, about people turning their backs on him. It sounded less like a man who's moving on and more like a man stuck in a loop of blame and bitterness. Even more confusing is how disconnected Kody seems from the current narratives of the people who once made up his family. Meri, Christine, and Yanel have each taken bold steps to rebuild their lives. They post frequently, engage warmly with followers, and seem to radiate a new sense of peace and independence. They've moved on, or at least they're trying to. Meanwhile, Kody's digital presence remains frozen in time, like he's caught between what was and what is, and unwilling to step into what could be next. There's also the question of Robyn's influence. It's no secret that she has been perceived as the favored wife for years, a narrative that even the show itself has explored. Could Kody's silence online be tied to trying to protect their image? If his marriage to Robyn is now his only remaining one, is he hiding to keep that relationship shielded from public scrutiny? Or is it possible that the image of a happily ever after with Robyn is just as fractured as his relationships with the other wives, and his online disappearance is an attempt to avoid addressing that publicly? People close to the situation, or at least fans who have watched closely over the years, have started speculating more boldly. Some think Kody may be dealing with mental health issues, that the collapse of his family and the ongoing public criticism have taken a serious toll. Others believe he's trying to preserve a brand, hoping to maintain whatever influence or business opportunities still remain tied to his name. But the more his silence stretches on, the more unsettling it becomes. It's like watching a character disappear from his own story, leaving behind only clues and questions. Fans have tried to reach out, leaving comments on older posts, tagging him in messages of support or sometimes frustration. But there's no reply. No acknowledgement. Just a digital wall that once invited viewers in but now feels like it's meant to keep them out. This kind of silence isn't just about privacy, it's about erasure, about choosing not to engage with the reality that the rest of the world can plainly see. And then there's the backdrop of the show itself. Sister Wives has always walked a tightrope between entertainment and truth. We see edited versions of family life, confessions carefully curated for dramatic effect. But even within that manufactured space, cracks have appeared. Kody's anger, his control, his breakdowns, they've all been documented, played out in slow motion for an audience that has grown more critical with each season. The man who once preached unity and spiritual harmony now appears lost in his own web of contradictions. It's in this context that his Instagram, or lack thereof, becomes more than just a social media mystery. It becomes a symbol of everything that's gone wrong. Not just in the Brown family, but in Kody himself. It represents the refusal to evolve, to take accountability, to engage with a world that no longer accepts the justifications he once offered so freely. It's possible that he's avoiding backlash. Maybe he knows that every word he posts will be dissected, every image scrutinized. Maybe he's not ready to face the chorus of voices calling him out for his choices. Maybe he doesn't know how to rebuild, how to reconnect, how to be seen again after being so thoroughly exposed. Or maybe he's still clinging to control, using silence as a final tool to protect whatever narrative he still believes in. No one can say for certain what's really going on. We don't know if Kody Brown is spiraling, plotting a comeback, or simply choosing peace in his own way. But what we do know is that his social media presence tells a story even when he isn't saying anything. And right now, that story is filled with shadows. His Instagram has become a digital ghost town, haunted by the past, silent about the present, and uncertain about the future. In the world of reality TV, that silence speaks volumes. It tells us that something is definitely not right. And the longer it goes on, the harder it becomes to ignore the feeling that Kody Brown might be hiding something he doesn't want the world to see. I never want to be like Robyn. Her explosive confession about regret, redemption, and rebuilding. The dust hasn't settled in the world of sister wives, and Meri Brown has just stirred up the storm again. In a deeply candid and emotionally charged reveal, Meri has finally voiced the truth fans have long suspected but never imagined she would confirm so directly. With fiery conviction, Meri declares, "I never want to be like Robyn." A bold statement, echoing louder than any passive-aggressive comment or Instagram quote she's dropped over the years. This isn't just tea, it's a full pot boiling over, and it's about time. For over a decade, viewers have watched Meri navigate the wreckage of a broken plural marriage, often painted as the emotionally estranged first wife, the outcast, the one left behind. But what few understood until now is how deeply Meri resented being constantly compared to Robyn. And even worse, how she loathed the idea of ever becoming her. In an exclusive sit-down shared through her personal channels and close sources, Meri let the floodgates open. And what came rushing through wasn't just pain. It was power. It was clarity. And it was the final nail in the coffin of any lingering illusion that the Brown family could ever return to what it once was. Meri's journey hasn't been quiet. It's been simmering under the surface, boiling with unspoken truths and painful sacrifices. From her legal divorce from Kody so he could marry Robyn, to the emotional catfishing scandal that left her raw and vulnerable, Meri has endured a public unraveling few would survive. All the while, Robyn was stepping in with her soft voice and tearful eyes, growing in influence and ultimately becoming the only wife Kody seemed to invest in. And Meri? She was left with silence, shame, and spiritual confusion. Now, years later, Meri has had enough. No longer willing to play the part of the loyal soldier in a battle she no longer believes in, Meri is pulling back the curtain on what she really thinks about Robyn. And it's not pretty. "I've watched her play the victim," Meri says. "I've seen the manipulation, the games, the way she twists emotions to always come out looking like the one who's suffering the most. And I realized there's nothing about that I want to emulate. Nothing." Her voice, trembling with intensity, conveys not just anger but heartbreak. "There was a time when I wanted to be close with Robyn. I believed her tears. I defended her. But that woman isn't the innocent soul everyone thinks she is. She knew exactly what she was doing." This confession from Meri marks a turning point. Fans have speculated for years about tension between the wives, especially as Robyn rose to prominence in Kody's eyes. But Meri had always maintained a certain loyalty to the family's narrative, speaking in vague terms or offering neutral statements. Not anymore. The gloves are off and Meri is standing tall finally. Sources close to the family confirm what Meri implies. Robyn was never just a passive participant in the family dynamic. She played a critical role in shifting the emotional and spiritual balance of power in Kody's world. And Meri felt that shift like an earthquake. "I gave up everything," she explains. "I divorced Kody so he could adopt her kids. I supported her when no one else trusted her. And how was I repaid? With distance. With silence. With being made to feel like I was the problem." What fans didn't see on camera was how isolated Meri became in the years following Kody's marriage to Robyn. Despite the show's portrayal of sisterhood, Meri often found herself excluded from major family decisions, ignored in discussions about property and legacy, and left out of emotional milestones.